anyway. No, please don't do that, because I've had a good idea. This is my idea. I can't explain to you what God's love is going to be, how it's going to be experienced in heaven, because I haven't been there, and you can't either. But I do understand that God's love is going to be the means of getting us there. And so whilst we can't talk about the destination, we can talk about the journey. That's what I want to do today. I want to talk to you about the journey that God in love has prepared for us in order that we might finish in that destination that is beyond our wildest dreams or beyond our most vivid imagination. Let me read to you from the Bible. It's an excellent book on the subject. I do recommend it to you. Romans chapter 8, a very famous verse, verse 28. We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. For those God foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those he predestinated, he also called. And those he called, he also justified. And those he justified, he also glorified. Now that last little expression there, those he glorified, the word glorified is another way of describing what it's going to be for us when we finally arrive in the presence of God in his heaven and are welcomed there. We will be glorified. But I'm running ahead of myself. I want you to notice the stages in the journey that Paul talks about here. He says that God is busy working in all situations. It doesn't mean he's creating all situations, but he is taking all the situations that are happening, and he is actively at work in them, and he is actively at work bringing about his eternal purposes, his eternal cosmic purposes, that his eternal cosmic purposes that are all birthed and presented to us in love. And this is what he's doing. It says, first of all, he foreknew. Then, secondly, it says, those he foreknew, he predestined. And then it says, those whom he predestined, he called. And then it says that those he called, he justified. And then it says, well, actually, it doesn't say, for some strange reason, Paul leaves it out, but I'll explain that to you in a minute, if I remember, in a few minutes. He then says, whom he justified, he sanctified. And then it says, or it implies, and whom he sanctified, them he glorified. So that's what we need to talk about. And we'll see something very special about this. Every one of these stages is predicated on love. So I can't tell you what it's going to be like to experience the love of God in heaven, but I can tell you a little bit about what it's going to be like experiencing God's love in stage by stage by stage by stage, through which he takes us in order that we might be there. They do say, you know, that the big part of going to a destination is enjoying the journey. The more we enjoy the journey, the more we'll begin to recognize the wonders of what we anticipate in the destination.